Students supporting teachers.
We need to start supporting the teachers and helping out because it's affecting our grades.
Thousands walk out to express their views on public education. Hundreds of animals rescued.
Foster homes are going to be the most important thing so that we can make space.
Cats, dogs, horses, and other livestock in need of a safe home. And a record year for tourism in Alberta.
Businesses are thriving. People are making money here.
How Canadians are giving local business a boost.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Thousands of Alberta high school students rallied today in support of their teachers who can't. Stephanie Thomas joins us now from Henry Wisewood High School. And Stephanie, students walked out of class in protest of Bill 2.
And Ian, it happened only one day after students were back to school for just one day after the province legislated the end of the teacher strike. So several students we spoke to and other union leaders say that the fight doesn't end here. Now, Wisewood was just one of dozens of Calgary schools and the surrounding area that saw droves of students march out of classrooms. Students close to the core, they ended up at City Hall. Their signs and their chants emphasized their concerns over classroom conditions and teacher burnout. They're also reacting to the government's use of the notwithstanding clause, saying it tramples charter-protected rights. Now, Calgary's largest school boards say they did not stop any students from participating, but they were marked with an unexcused absence. Rallying students say they walked out for their futures.
It can't control us. It can't silence us. It can use laws. It can try, but we are going to retaliate. We are going to fight back no matter what.
So many students care for the teachers, and now that the teachers lost their ability to strike and protest, I think it's only fair that we show our support in them.
And it really just goes to show how passionate students are about defending public education in our province and making sure that it's really well funded, because at the end of the day, that's our future.
Many of the rallying students also mentioned their concerns over the grade 12 diplomas. There is a Change.org petition that is gaining traction and has more than 30,000 signatures calling for those diploma exams to also be made optional, much like the November ones have been. We have been on the phone with the Education Minister's office and says that an announcement on that perspective is coming shortly. Ian?
Thank you, Stephanie. And the Canadian Bar Association is criticizing the province's preemptive use of the notwithstanding clause to force teachers back to work. The Alberta branch says the clause should only be used as a last resort and after courts have had a chance to examine the legislation. The group also criticizes the UCP for putting time limits on legislative debate and says both moves undermine the constitutional and human rights that protect Albertans. A strike vote is underway for more than 16,000 Alberta healthcare workers. The group of workers includes licensed practical nurses and healthcare aides. Contract talks between the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees and Alberta Health Services broke down earlier this month. The union says it's asking for increased wages to reflect an increased workload.
We're talking about a public service that is being underfunded for years, and currently in a chaotic situation, and that's why our members have had enough, and they're ready to take their fight to the street if this government doesn't recognize the importance of the work that they do.
The voting period ends on Monday. A man has died after an incident in the loading dock area of a southeast Calgary business. Police say the victim was in his 60s. He was hit by a large truck over the noon hour. Paramedics rushed him to the Foothills Hospital in critical, life-threatening condition, but he died this afternoon. Police and Occupational Health and Safety are investigating. Calgary police say a cultural shift is needed on city streets after traffic deaths this year hit their highest level in more than a decade. Mark Villani is live from Elbow Drive and 61st Avenue, the site of a pedestrian fatality last year. And Mark, what seems to be prompting this latest string of crashes?
Well, Ian, Calgary police say that of the 30 fatal collisions that have occurred in our city this year, many of them share a common theme that includes distraction, speed, as well as inattention. It's why those that live near intersections that are troubling, like the one behind me, are calling on the city to improve its messaging. They're also calling for implementations like traffic lights or flashing beacons to encourage people to pay more attention. Now, this year, 11 crashes involved the deaths of pedestrians, 3 of them occurring in just a 24-hour period earlier this month. Calgary police tell CTV News that officers now aim to ramp up patrols and public awareness campaigns through the city's Drive to Zero initiative aimed at reducing traffic deaths to none. The city is turning to technology as well. It's starting to use artificial intelligence to analyze 17,000 intersections in an effort to predict where incidents are more likely to occur and what changes could be made. A recent study conducted by the Alberta Motor Association found that 1 in every 770 Calgary pedestrians and 1 in every 500 cyclists were also nearly hit by vehicles.
Looking at those close calls allows everyone the opportunity to look at that intersection and say, okay, what's happening here? Is there something specific about the design? Is there something about the timing of the signals? Is there something about the field of vision or a particular feature of the road that we need to look at and address?
Now, the city's Safer Mobility Program currently budgets $5 million per year for safety improvements, but this new council could be asked to boost that funding to $6.5 million when its AI platform expects to be fully operational starting next year. Ian.
Mark, thanks very much. Little ghouls and goblins will be out looking for treats tomorrow, and that means being extra careful to keep them safe. Partners in Safety will have hundreds of vehicles out providing high visibility support to families enjoying Halloween. That means police, firefighters, ambulance, transit, and peace officers will be patrolling neighborhoods. Anyone who needs help can simply ask and can also find shelter at police and fire stations and any public transit. But making sure kids have a safe evening requires everyone to pitch in.
Everybody needs to play their part. Pedestrians, be aware that when you step onto a road, it is a road and it does have vehicles that move quite quickly. And so give time at a pedestrian crossing. If you're there, wait for the vehicles to slow down. Wait until the signal goes and it's quite clearly that vehicles are slowing, then step on there. For drivers, be aware of pedestrians.
Parents are reminded to make sure kids can be seen in the dark. Also, avoid using real candles, check candy before it's eaten, and keep pets in a safe place. Danielle, you are proudly wearing the Blue Jays merch today. Big baseball game coming up tomorrow on Halloween. It's a bit of a competition.
It's a lot going on. Yeah, it could be both a Halloween costume and a thing. It was a big win last night. So pumped about that. Okay, I do have your Halloween forecast for you. I'm going to break it down. It's actually looking pretty good considering we've had worse weather on Halloween. 9 degrees right now at the airport. We did get to a high of 10 today. Winds are a lot calmer today, as you can see, than they were yesterday. Absolutely. All right, your Halloween forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit 5thAvVW.com. And here we go. So this is starting off at 8 a.m. This day will be mainly sunny, but by 4, the clouds will start to build in. So we're looking at mainly cloudy skies around the trick-or-treating hours. A high of 9, that's at 4, but then by 6 p.m. when a lot of kids are headed out, 7 degrees looks to be the temperature, and the winds will pick up a little bit. It won't be too gusty, but 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, and a very, very small chance of any sort of showers. So looking pretty decent. Just need a couple layers. All right, midnight tonight is the early bird prize deadline in the Hospital Home Lottery. You could win the $1 million Canmore condo built by Spring Creek, plus $25,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tonight at CalgaryHospitalHomeLottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. Animal welfare agencies across Alberta are dealing with a massive task. Next, nearly 300 animals seized from a pair of properties near Valley View. And mission accomplished at Dodgers Stadium. The Blue Jays coming home for a potential series-winning game. Charges are pending after 290 animals were seized from a shelter in northern Alberta. Valley View RCMP say they're investigating allegations of animals in distress and animal cruelty. Police say the animals were in various states of distress on 2 properties operating as an animal rescue. A few had to be euthanized on site. 16 animal welfare agencies from across the province have taken in the cats, dogs, horses, and other livestock.
Foster homes are going to be the most important thing so that we can make space. We still have 16 dogs that don't have placement and that are looking for somewhere to go. So the more homes that we can open up with fosters, the better, and the more places that these animals will have to go.
And RCMP say more information will be released once charges are laid. Okay, Danielle, you mentioned earlier that we've had much colder Halloweens in Calgary. And ain't that the truth? With the kids with the parkas on over their costumes, they won't necessarily have to do that tomorrow.
And trying to trek through snow, up the steps, around. We're not looking at snow. I mean, it's not really warm or anything like that, but it's nice. It's good enough. Here's a Skywatch weather camera, and it's a beautiful day today. It was very gusty yesterday in most communities. The winds have calmed down today. They'll pick up a little bit tomorrow by the supper hours, by trick-or-treating time, but it still won't be so bad. 20, maybe even 30 kilometers per hour. All right, at the moment, 9 degrees in Calgary, Drumheller, Brooks, Medicine Hat, and just about that in Pincher Creek and Lethbridge. So yeah, we're pretty much where we should be for this time of year. Again, yesterday in the far south, they were looking at gusts around 90, just above 90 kilometers per hour. So it was a very gusty day. There were wind warnings in place. Calgary, we had closer to 60 kilometers per hour. So this is a lot calmer. This shows the maximum wind gusts for today. And this is pretty much, when you look at this, what we can expect for tomorrow, in the 30s for most communities. Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass will be a little gustier. That's because the system is now way off to the east, so it's out of the way. And here, what we're looking at is just some cloudy periods at times as we head into the evening hours. So it's quiet this evening. It's pretty quiet for tomorrow. We do have something to talk about for Saturday. So I'm going to advance the future cast here, give you the hour by hour. Tomorrow, all sunshine in southern Alberta, as you can see, for much of the day. However, by the supper hours, the clouds will really start to build in. This model is showing little tiny pockets of showers. Most of that would just evaporate before it even gets to the ground, but you may see a raindrop or 2 out there, and if you get it, it won't last and it won't be much at all. And it's a very small chance of that in most communities, Calgary and south. But there will be the cloud cover. The winds will pick up to 20, 30 kilometers per hour. As we head into Saturday, though, in the afternoon hours, we'll see some moisture, some snowfall for the higher elevations, some rain for the lower elevations in through Pincher Creek, for example, but it shouldn't track east of Pincher Creek. There will be another pocket east of the QE2. It won't last that long, but it may be a heavy rain for a short amount of time. Okay, for Calgary, we're not looking at any sort of moisture on Saturday. We're just looking at dry conditions. And again, for tomorrow, a high of 9 degrees, small chance of an isolated shower, but mainly what we're dealing with by trick-or-treating time is just some clouds building in and it getting a little bit breezy. So overall, quite nice. 14 degrees, that will be the warmest day, as you can see, for the next 5 days. We're looking at a mix of sun and cloud. For Saturday, Sunday, things start to cool back down to daytime highs in those single digits. And remember to set your clocks back before you go to bed Saturday night, because we gain an hour of sleep on Sunday. Okay, midnight tonight is the early bird prize deadline in the Hospital Home Lottery. You could win the $1 million Canmore condo built by Spring Creek, plus $25,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tonight at calgaryhospitalhomelottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. The Alberta Sheriff's Police Service is closer to becoming operational. Public Safety Minister Mike Ellis has introduced a bill which would allow officers to form a police association and bargain collectively. The government says this labor framework is needed to support the service's operations and recruitment. Earlier this year, Canadians were encouraged to visit tourist destinations in this country, and they did. Still to come, a record-breaking year for tourism in Alberta and across the country. Higher Sales and profits are brewing at Tim Hortons. Joining me is Liana Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popwich-Carmally Advisory Group. And first of all, Liana, what happened on the markets today?
Well, it was a bit of an interesting day because we saw some of those mega cap stocks, some of those really big names, see some losses on the market today, and that really dragged down the market on the U.S. side of the border. In particular, we had Meta, Microsoft, and Google's parent company, Alphabet, all report their earnings yesterday after market close, and that played into the trade today. Now, all three of them have said that they're actually going to do more spending on AI, but investors were a little concerned about just how much of the cash flow in both Microsoft and Meta's cases was being spent on new AI capital investment. In the case of Alphabet, they're only spending about half of their current cash flow on operations, so their balance sheet looks pretty healthy. But when it comes to Microsoft and Meta, it's a much higher percentage, and that spooked investors a little bit and really dragged the market south of the border today.
Meantime, strong quarterly results reported at Tim Hortons.
That's right, and it's really on the back of their coffee sales. There's been an increased demand for coffee at Tim Hortons locations over the course of the last year, but particularly in the last quarter, they're seeing their profits up 25% year over year, which is great news for them. Now, Tim Hortons, of course, is owned by Restaurant Brands International. Overall, Restaurant Brands International reporting that they're seeing higher sales across their stores in other places like Burger King, but it was really Tim Hortons that led the charge over this last quarter. It's one of those places where you can actually go and get a fairly affordable fast food meal. That is one thing that many fast food retailers have been struggling with over the last few years, I would say, as inflation has gotten higher. So Tim Hortons profiting off of that seems to be doing pretty well for a Canadian brand.
People looking to save some money. Liana, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Canadian summer tourism numbers have hit an all-time high, thanks in a large part to increased domestic spending. The large majority of that comes from Canadian travelers, many still boycotting American travel for political reasons. New data from the Crown Corporation Destination Canada show the industry brought in a record-breaking amount of revenue between May and August. It surpassed $59 billion, which is a 6% jump over last year. The large majority of that comes from Canadian travelers. Our province is looking at a 9% increase year over year.
2024 was record-breaking. We were pretty excited to see the numbers from last year, and this year we're really on track for another great season. So it's more than just the numbers, though. It's actually about what that is doing for the economy and how that's actually affecting people's businesses. So that means businesses are thriving. People are making money here.
Destination Canada says national hotel occupancy is also way up despite expanded supply in almost every major city. The Alberta government is making changes to make it easier for farmers and ranchers to get the water they need. Environment Minister Rebecca Scholes introduced a bill this afternoon to amend Alberta's Water Act. It will be easier for those with water licenses to use and share their water when it's needed, such as during a drought. The bill will also enable communities and others to use alternative sources of water, such as rainwater from rooftops, and to reuse wastewater. The province says while access to water is key, there will still be measures to promote water conservation. Thousands of students walk out of class today. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. Protests over teachers being forced back to work happened right across Alberta. In Calgary, dozens of schools had walkouts today. Coming up at 6, we'll hear more of their concerns, plus the solutions that they're calling for. Also ahead, Calgary's new mayor delivers a message to the city's business community. We'll tell you what Jeremy Farkas is saying about the upcoming budget. We'll see you at 6.
The Calgary Health Foundation's Hospital Home Lottery early bird prize deadline is midnight tonight. And when you get your tickets before midnight tonight, you have the chance to win the early bird prize as well as the grand prize. And I'm joined now by Kayla as well as Shannon. Now, Kayla, Spring Creek was the builder that built this early bird prize, which is a $1 million condo in Canmore, fully furnished, plus $25,000 cash. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, located in our newest building, Blackswift Lodge. Has our platinum built green as well, so means geothermal. Yeah, we have 3rd floor, so views of Three Sisters right there. Lots of amenities such as the hot tub, underground parking, and fitness gym. It's your perfect place to unscape.
And the location makes it incredibly convenient.
It is. So it's located right in the heart of Canmore. You have access on all our amazing trails and bridges to everything Canmore has to offer.
And of course, midnight tonight is the last chance to win that early bird prize condo. And Shannon, with that, you also have the chance to win the grand prize home, which we're standing in right now.
Absolutely. And hopefully you can all tell how gorgeous it is. It's a $3.3 million grand prize show home plus $100,000 cash. It has been built by Crystal Creek and is in Watermark. So you do not want to miss out on both these incredible opportunities.
And of course, along with that, there's thousands of other prizes to be won, but all of this is for a great cause.
That's right. So we really appreciate the community support. This year, we're going to be supporting the Women's Cardiovascular Health Clinic out of South Health Campus, and it's going to make such a difference for women suffering from cardiovascular health disease.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you.
Of course, midnight tonight is your last chance to win the early bird prize in the Calgary Health Foundation's Hospital Home Lottery. For more information and to buy your tickets, you can visit calgaryhospitalhomelottery.com.
Trick-or-treaters can look forward to a relatively warm Halloween right now in Calgary, partly cloudy and 9 degrees. Danielle has details just ahead. Danielle, the only issue with tomorrow night's weather for Halloween is perhaps a bit of a gusty wind that may ruffle your
layers,
costume a bit.
your costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you're dressed like a big banana, like my son.
Oh,
I don't know.
Banana.
Yeah, he might blow over. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You know, 20, 30 kilometers per hour in the city. So not bad at all. Very small chance of a little raindrop, so we shouldn't see that either. We will have the clouds increase, so it will be mainly cloudy by then. So this is the whole Halloween breakdown. Lots of sunshine throughout the day, a high of 9, but then by trick-or-treating time at 6 p.m., 7 degrees, and then at 9 p.m., it'll be about 5. And we all know that temperature drops fast once the sun sets, so layers are good. 14 degrees, though, on Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud.
Thanks, Danielle. The Toronto Blue Jays are one game away from winning the World Series, and last night's game in Los Angeles began in spectacular fashion.
Game 5 is underway with a fly ball to deep left. Gone!
The Jays' Davis Schneider hit the first pitch of the game over the left field wall for a solo home run. Then the next batter, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., also hit a home run. Jays pitcher Trey Yesavage making history with 12 strikeouts, the most ever for a rookie in a World Series game. The final score 6-1, giving the Blue Jays a 3-2 lead in the series. Game 6 tomorrow night in Toronto. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.